presenting, open up the meeting. And, okay, we had an addition to that. 10:30 for Sally. Okay, that being said, we'll go ahead and everybody had a chance. Ready, Kelly? Okay. Meeting ready. Okay.
Henry County Commission, Henry County, Missouri, Thursday, May 29th, 2025, 17th day of the April term. The Henry County Commission met pursuant to adjournment at the courthouse in Clinton, Missouri. Those members present were Jim Stone, presiding commissioner, Mark Larson, North District Commissioner, Jake Bradley, South District Commissioner, Kelly Mayer, County Clerk. At 9 a.m., Commissioner Stone brought the meeting to order. The agenda was approved as presented. The minutes from the Tuesday, May 27th, 2025 meeting were read. Commissioner Bradley made a motion to approve the minutes. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion. Motion carried. The closed minutes from the Tuesday, May 27th, 2025 meeting were read. Commissioner Larson made a motion to approve the minutes. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried. Expenditures from the following departments were approved to be paid: General County Government, Court Administration, Tri-County Buildings and Grounds, Employee Benefits, Emergency Management, Prosecuting Attorney Retirement Fund, Road and Bridge, Law Enforcement GR, Senior Citizen Service Tax Fund, 27th Circuit Treatment Court, Inmate Security Fund, Sheriff Revolving Fund. Jim Powell, citizen of Henry Creek Township, addressed the commission regarding strip pits that are near his land. He explained that it is the largest strip pit that is continuous in the state of Missouri. He shared that an individual, Jake Townsville, has built a dam and put in a culvert that is affecting the flow of water, and 26 other landowners and residents in the area. He shared that it is flooding them out. Jim shared that he has talked to the landowner, and the landowner states he will not remove the culvert. He also shared that in 1991, the Corps of Engineers had done a lot of work in the area, but years of flooding has done damage. Jim was told that it is illegal to put a culvert in a creek and affect the water flow and wildlife. It was suggested to him by an attorney to speak with the commission and Emergency Management Director Mark Hardin. Mark Hardin shared that because the county had not adopted a flood ordinance until December of 2012, and the pipe was put in prior to that, the state has stated that the county can do nothing about it. Mark shared that he can prove that the culvert was put in prior to the county passing a flood ordinance. The Corps of Engineers in the state of Missouri both say that this is a civil case and would have to be handled by the courts. Commissioner Larson shared that maybe the Missouri Department of Conservation would get involved due to the fish not being able to go back and forth as the culvert is tipped. Commissioner Stone asked Commissioner Larson if he would speak with the local Missouri Department of Conservation. Mark stated he would. Mr. Powell said that if the commission would like to see the area, he would be glad to take them out there. Mark Hardin explained after looking at maps that it's actually a spillway, not a culvert in the Honey Creek itself. He stated that it really is a civil issue, and as a floodplain manager, there is nothing he can do. Mark Hardin shared that the state of Missouri came out yesterday and shared that Henry County would not be considered a disaster area. The county met their threshold, but the state had not. Dennis Bowers, Road and Bridge Supervisor, shared that after receiving the most recent road inventory from the state of Missouri and inspecting it thoroughly, that there are many roads that are listed or are not listed, and the inventory needs to be fixed, updated. He is currently working with MoDOT on this issue. He plans to spend the next couple weeks getting the inventory cleaned up and accurate. There was discussion regarding township culverts. Dennis shared that there are a lot of culverts in the townships that need replaced. The bad pipes are washing away road beds and are dangerous and deteriorating roads. Some places are just marking the issue with pipes posts and not fixing the culvert. He said that the townships keep saying they have no money for rock and no money for culverts. He wants to send a letter to the townships that they are going to need to fix the culverts, so the county will do it and build them. The issues are too extreme to be ignored. Commissioner Larson asked Dennis to provide him with road numbers that need to be addressed. Dennis shared that just in Big Creek Township alone, there are 36 culverts that need addressed. Special road districts are different. The commission really has no authority to do anything in the specials. Jake shared that Bear Creek had asked him about a road that is on the county line. They want to know the exact location of where they are responsible. Dennis shared that Ted Holt had called regarding 701 Road in Davis Township. Jake shared that he was going to look into the situation and get a hold of MoDOT. Assessor Scott Largent and Collector Treasurer Rick Watson attended the meeting to discuss the draft of ordinance for Senate Bill 190. A lot of discussion centered around what happens when a levy is raised by an entity, new construction versus home improvements, and how the freeze affects certain citizens. There was much discussion on the process of applications. Commissioner Larson made a motion to adopt Henry County, Missouri Ordinance Number 2025-0529, an ordinance establishing a property tax credit for eligible senior citizens pursuant to Section 137-1050 RSMO, Senate Bill 190. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried With a roll call vote, Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes. At 10:53 a.m., Commissioner Larson made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes.
Make a motion to approve minutes.
Second.
Motion been made, second to accept the minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Sorry about my brain's got me allergies this
Oh,
morning.
gosh. Here.
Sounds a little froggy.
You know, we've never heard anything out of Stonebridge, have we? Never come back. Scott did turn that in for insurance, didn't he? On the repairs
Yeah, well,
and stuff.
the individual who hit him, their insurance
They're
paid
gonna pay
it.
it.
They already did.
Oh, they already did. That's why we're paying.
Yeah, they paid it to us. It went into Scott's fund. Now we've got to pay out what?
Yep, yep.
I've been sending you guys the emails from Ameritrust, the claim company through Mike Keith that we sent that letter to
Mhm.
regarding the road. And so she sent this I've sent every email that you guys have, that I've gotten to
Yep.
you guys, so you know what's going on, but she also
Yep.
sent a paper copy.
New with that, Kelly?
Anything new? No, basically when I talked to her in the last email I sent her, you guys saw me send her township information.
Mhm.
And after she called and I talked to her and we discussed that, you know, the county doesn't maintain the roads, the township does. Well, that threw her for a loop
Mhm.
because she didn't, you know,
Didn't
wasn't
know that.
sure about township county. So
Right.
that's why she then emailed and wanted it in writing that we were a township county and who to contact. And
I
so
see.
once we got that explained to her, she was like, well, sounds like this isn't your problem. She also made the comment, the same people tearing up the roads are the same ones complaining about this. And I said,
See, I drove down it. The same holes that were there whenever I was trucking are still there.
sure,
It's
sure,
the ones they fight all the time.
Mhm.
yeah.
It's hard to keep up with that much truck traffic, especially when it's asphalt season.
I think that's what limits them to why, because it is asphalt that can't be taken care of. So
Yeah.
hopefully they find a good solution.
I think they will. I think they've got one now. Just got to find the time. For them.
All right, we got a bit of time. Maintenance, Chris Worsig. We've got a few shingles off the top of the
Mhm.
roof.
Did he find anybody?
And he bid it out to a couple people, got a couple quotes. One was it's not only just to fix the shingles. There's a couple stacks up there from the old heating, air conditioning, HVAC system that we had. That if we could take off, we could prevent some of that other stuff from happening.
Mhm.
And one came in at 10,000, and the other was like 7,500, which is under the 12,000 threshold. But he just wanted you guys to be aware that he has been looking for companies to do that. A lot of people don't want to touch it, but he did find a couple. So I told him that I would make you aware of that.
Now, is that just fixing those two areas, or is that a pull off, redo the whole area?
My understanding is that they're going to tear out the stacks that are up there, the chimneys, whatever they are, pipe, and fix that area, not anything else. Just that one area.
One spot.
So if you want to find out more about that, we'll get a hold of Chris. I just told him I would make you aware.
Well, we're gonna have to work on it.
How about the flooding and the moat?
That would be a Chris question.
Yeah, I tell you, the big thing is trying to find somebody that can dig it up and work on it. Because you gotta get down there and flood an issue.
Well, it's not
Chris,
just the moat,
and-
it's the grounds
Yeah.
out here that have to
Yeah.
be worked on
To get
because
it.
it backs up, and that's why the moat
Yeah.
floods. Is
That's
this
the reason
side
why
of the
it comes over the
courthouse.
top of it. We tried to
Told you.
lay that walk put a curb up. And I thought maybe that'd help you. I don't know.
How bad does it flood into the courthouse whenever it happens?
Well, if it comes over the sidewalk,
Quite a bit of water in
quite a bit of water comes in.
Does it go over the curb or does it go?
I think that's the way I understood. A lot of it goes over the little curb where the sidewalk was or where it was poured down. And I don't know whether we could make it higher or to stop that. I don't know. Chris has never, something we need to talk about. Because getting somebody to do it has been a problem too. Because you're gonna have to fix this. One time we was gonna try to work on the yard, build that up out there. Well, we tried, nothing happened there. Because,
Drainage system,
well, you're gonna have to do something to drain it.
drain it
gotta
out.
get it.
Way.
Yeah, we gotta get it away. Because the yard, it's sloped wrong and anyway, we put dirt down and put grass, but you can't grow grass in old glory days. It's gone. So and that happens every year, so it's gonna be gone. Because the young grass is not gonna survive.
Oh,
So
so it's mainly on
that's that's where mainly it is.
Mhm.
And it comes down that step. The way what I was saying, it comes off the street here. If you have a big enough rain, it comes off the street, comes over the top, plus what's coming down off the road.
And is there a drainage system in place where the moat's at now? An old pipe?
That's a good question. Yeah, there's something down there. And we think it's a drain. But I've never really responded what it was. But see, the sewer, everything that all the bathrooms flush goes to the basement. And then there's a sump pump out here, and there's a deal there, and it pumps the sewer out from there across under the sidewalk into the sewer right over here. Because it's got to be hooked up.
How ours is the house.
And that's been put in there. I've knocked on wood, we never had to dig up that. I don't know what. I just count my blessings. As long as it'll survive, because it'll be it's a major deal. Because we had enough when we had the water freeze. We had to go clear over there and come across. We had guard dogs till we got it. Then dug it out and put it down. Then we had to put a T to tape. Because hell, there's a line belt like that run across. Never was covered or nothing. Never did freeze until several years ago when it froze. That was a big problem. But we got it. And since then, it's all been working.
So those are the only issues we have with the building.
Oh, don't even. You don't want to dive into every little issue they got.
I just want to hear about it now as opposed to getting surprised by
You're gonna
it.
hear a lot about doors too.
But what?
Doors. Yeah. But a lot of them don't. You don't want to change it.
Go down
Like
to
the
the
courtroom.
first floor and look up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that
And the courtroom
They get
doors,
finished
the
off
judge
very
would like to have different doors there. But
what
that
about
frame is.
You're gonna
the
change the
hinges.
frame out.
Oh, and I'm not. I wouldn't even want to touch it. And the bad thing, everything's working on it, but they'd rather have it where you push a button and lock it if you needed to. The judge could lock everybody.
put that in for the justice system?
Huh?
The justice center.
Well,
I mean, it'd be a good thing
yeah,
to
that's
have.
all we would do. So
Yeah, place.
yeah, I mean that's what's got to happen if you're gonna do that. But that's some of the cases.
What about like what Kelly's talking? First floor, you look up, you see the wires hanging down from everywhere. You step outside our door, and there's wires hanging from the ceiling. What can we do about that? Anything?
Oh yeah, you can put a basket and put everything along the
Put
wall.
them on a tray.
Yeah, that's what
That's
most
what
of
they
them do.
normally do.
That's
Put
what
'em on
they're
a
doing
tray.
anymore. They
Yeah.
put them on a tray.
Yeah.
All the wires go on a tray. But do you have any idea how many wires are in this courthouse?
No, probably a ton.
Just think about them right here.
I didn't know if there's a way to hide.
Well,
it
that's the only way we came up with
Unless
it.
you box
Just
them in.
put a basket and then you can kind of cover it. But most of them just have a water basket up there to carry it. Because you can lay all your wires in there and then they pull the wire in and pull the wire out. Yeah, that's been talked about. One time Rick was kind of working on that. He kind of fell through there.
Rick quit. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Kelly, I guess, could pick it up.
I'm not in charge of maintenance of the
That
courthouse.
would be a good.
I'm with you.
So
Kelly.
Jim
Stick to your
Stone
guns.
can keep that job.
That could give her a big boost
Oh,
in her political agenda. And that could step her up several places right quick.
No.
wake up Friday. About to say.
And I think Kelly has got the finesse to do
I
everything.
think Jim Stone's lost his marbles today.
Well, I lost
Those
my,
Tuesdays.
I lost my computer parts.
But I know there was discussion about
Oh.
painting the hallways and things like that.
Yeah.
There are some things that need done.
Yeah. Did y'all log on to the
You're off.
meeting yesterday?
Our office.
Yeah. Every time I come in there, it drives me crazy. I look
Oh,
up
because
to-
of where they've pulled. I think most of them are like that, except for probably the assessor's office, which was completely.
I
redone.
have a question.
Something a little more.
Like when they put these in,
Uh-huh.
is that's what that's from, isn't it?
Right. So the old ductwork used
Right.
to run where those are.
Yeah.
That's at.
So that was not part of the contract.
No, the
Cheaper.
HVAC people did
Yeah.
these, and our maintenance people pulled the
ductwork out.
ductwork out.
Okay.
Did y'all log on yesterday to BOE?
No.
I did not. I was busy. I've got it for next week though. On the 11th.
I
or
thought
12th.
you had it set up for a time or a day for it.
There was two
They-
options. It was
yeah.
today and tomorrow, or next Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
Well, I went over, logged in, and taking pictures, most screenshots,
Well, you sure did.
and I tried to make a book until for you. I know I went to one down in Springfield, and they had a book already printed out. And Rick brought it back, and I think Rick's.
I'd say they'll have
still all
printouts
there.
from the meeting. I was planning to attend
Sure,
next week
yeah.
because it wasn't
But
going to work.
there's a lot of good stuff, and the commission, you'd all be, need to go through.
So we
that.
gotta go
People
someplace?
coming up.
Or just
It's a Zoom meeting. They're having Zooms now. I didn't record it, but there's some of the stuff that we'll go through. How to fair value, fair market value. You don't go, but what it's worth. I mean, go out. But that land is set up. The state has already sent that to the assessor. The regular rules and all that. But some of it's just good to go through and listen, because then when people come in hollering, you never know. You need to have some kind of answer. That's the thing. But they had it, and I think June the 3rd. I thought,
It was yesterday and today.
yeah,
And then it's the 11th
Yeah.
and 12th.
11 o'clock today too. But you have to go into WebEx to get it.
It's all in that email
Yeah.
that I sent.
But I went ahead and logged in on the computer and stored it.
It is
It's a lot
something
easier to
that-
watch.
Probably need a little bit of at least a glance at it because I think we're going to see quite a bit of
Yep.
that this year with
Yes,
the new
we are.
evaluations going out.
Yep.
So I think it would be wise to educate yourself on BOE processes.
Yes. I think it'd be real wise.
Usually they try to do BOE in one day. I don't think that's going to cut it this year.
I don't know.
got a lot to cover.
And they
If I was a betting woman, I'd put some money on it, I think.
I don't know. It's hard to say once you get into it.
A lot of it Scott can fix down in his
Yes,
office.
yes, right
Because you
there.
have to have an informal hearing with the
Yeah.
assessor before you even make it to
Before
BOE.
you get up.
And Scott's really good about, trying to get that. But
Gotcha. Yeah, I know what those things are.
Scott remembered me on the assessment.
It's awful nice.
Yeah. And it went up.
So did ours.
Considerably.
Land values went down. The state,
The state wrote a letter. Scott
That's right.
didn't get his.
Huh?
Scott didn't get one.
Well,
Everybody, almost,
Yeah.
I can't remember how many counties.
Yeah.
You can thank Peter for that.
yep.
Yeah. That was the mandated letter, right? We've
I
got
wonder if somebody's busy
state
downstairs.
forcing them to send out or something like
Is he
that.
downstairs? Is he?
I don't know.
Subby? You have time.
I'm going to run these down, Amy.
Hey, they have a number down there I can just dial. What's the number? Downstairs, you know it?
No.
70.
No, it's not. It's
It's-
an outside number.
It's
that
an
they
outside
run.
number,
It's
that's right. Yep,
383-1061, I think.
Yeah.
Jim,
Get away.
383-1061, I believe. I'll double check when I'm
Okay.
downstairs.
33161. Because I worry about getting, because I got the contacts and I put them under, and then I have to go back there and be careful because I get their cell phone, personal cell, or their home phone, just like you're calling. I call the wrong number half the time. Then I have to go back, try to get the right number, and I try to get it now. I've got it down. I take the home number, just put it in the notes. That'll hit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on them.
Say shoot Mark's phone number. I didn't have saved into my phone for some odd
Hey,
reason.
as you go along, you'll have a phone book.
I already had a big one from MoDOT. so-
That's right. It'll get bigger. See, on Mark, the only one I got is his cell, and I need the number downstairs on the door because
Oh,
that goes to whoever's there. But anyway, see, God, anyway.
do we know if Dennis has got an updated
On the roads?
inventory?
No, not yet. Hey,
Okay.
that's a big job.
I was gonna say,
I mean, we went I know when we done it downstairs in the basement, there was 3 of us, not 4. Well, I I'll have Rick and Dale, Eric back then, Rodney back then, and it seemed like it's somebody else too. We all worked on, and when we found something that if it wasn't marked, and we'd get it, and we'd cover it with others like Eric and Rodney. Where do you go? So you get the right places. That's what happens. And some of this stuff, and then MoDOT, I'm sorry, they're not the best. Just like when we added the road around the airport, it was a major deal. Get that 1 mile left, so to get it on the MoDOT list. Once it's easy, once you get it on there,
Sorry, Bruce.
usually.
I
But
shot
I
that
don't know
right
what
in your
happened.
face.
And I think when integrity went over, there was a lot of
I tell you, I don't get the numbers.
I didn't realize you were coming in right behind me.
so I don't know. We'll find out.
So when we got, say there's a road that someone's wanting to make public again, we've got to submit that road.
They gotta bring it up to specs. What we say makes a road, just like y'all, that piece of paper y'all sign. Well, that's pretty important. If they wanna make a public road or make a road, that's gotta be brought up to that specs. And just like here, you gotta have your turnarounds, cause that's some of the things, issues that if you don't have it, you gotta try 18-wheeler down here, you got a lot of problems. And, cause you've made a county road then out of it, and that's supposedly a good road. But
What if the
believe me,
road was already maintained publicly and then got turned to a private road?
hey, that happened over in Springfield. I know the place, Shealy. He was a bus driver. Harold Shealy was his name. He was a school bus driver. And I've known him. And he built a house back off of Homer Everling up there. Anyway, he built it back up in quite a ways up the field and had a lane, the road. Well, the county road went along there. Well, all the time they never done anything, and he drove a school bus. So therefore, it was gravel, and the township done that for him. Then they turned around, and then they started maintaining. Well, over the years, and supposedly it was turned in. And then it used to go straight through to the other road, but then they cut it off when they sold some land or something there, because it wasn't really a road. Then all of a sudden, when it became a road, or whenever had a big issue up there, guess what? Then was when we found out where how it was. It really is one of those deals with the actually MoDOT is the one that done it, because during the winter, they'd run the road blades up there, stop, drink coffee, get the donut, head her back out, bleed the roads. But back years ago, I know at our house, that was a county road they went by, and tell they'd go ahead when they come up and lane, and if it was working, then Dad and Mom was friendly, and it's kind of like Carol and them. They would whip her in if they wanted a cup of coffee, and Mom would always have coffee on it. Had a cup of coffee and visit everybody, and then if they got stuck, they'd call it, and we'd go pull them out. Because we had a big tractor, and I used to do that, had to. I pulled that boat out three times that 1 year.
Yeah, that's handy. That's better than getting a whole wrecker.
Yeah.
They want documentation, you get a wrecker.
But anyway, that's what we used to do.
Jim, Kelly,
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, yes.
yes, please. You
Yes,
want
please.
some?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I was trying to read a text here too. Ooh. Uh, 11:30. We gotta.
That is the number downstairs for 1061,
Okay,
383,
okay.
1061.
Okay.
I wouldn't dare do that. Hey, I got a request. My wife's got a request. Instead of having just a video of everything. Wordage. Hope you don't read it instead of having to listen to it. Yeah. Hey, let me see what I can come up with.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Three.
what?
What's one more? Yeah.
You can go ahead.
Okay.
I would not go with Great River.
Huh?
You want to?
Okay.
Without Dennis here?
Oh, is he coming in?
Yeah.
Better wait till
Yeah, no,
Dennis.
you're good.
Sammy,
Hi there.
I was gonna call you.
Yeah, I got caught up. I was watching it downstairs while I was doing it.
Oh, well, that's it.
So I
Did you
thought
hear
I
me
heard
say?
our phone number,
Yeah.
1061, so I rewound it. And it's just like, oh, well, I'll grab my stuff and come on up just in case. So,
Well, you got that handle. That's good.
yeah.
Thank you. We were
Oh,
ready.
ready?
Yes.
Oh,
That's why
nice.
we had to wait a little bit. We got done, and I thought, well, it'd be time to kind of get things handled.
So, Jim, you know, the new commissioners, this is good information for you guys. Our emergency operation plan, even though we do that every 4 years, we just completed it in 2024, so we're good there. But the state requires that we update that yearly. So all I have, this is the exact same EOP that was on the thumb drive you guys received right at the first of the year. So all I need is a signature. It's the exact same thing. And then I'll get this sent to Gloria. And then that way we're updated for 2025. Okay?
Good. Three.
You preparing for a busy night?
Hmm?
Are you preparing for a busy night?
Yep. It'll
Will
be, I don't think it, I mean,
I don't think-
it's going to be wind and maybe some hail. I think it's going to be coming through, you know, sometime after 2, 3 o'clock, but it's
Not
not,
too
it's not
much.
a big system.
Not too much rain.
We could get a little bit of rain.
I don't like that. Could you hold mine off a little bit? Just,
Well,
I'd like to wait a couple days.
Put that umbrella
Hey, what? I got some stuff I'm
well,
spreading.
this
I
morning,
get it on the ground.
Harrisville has already picked up 2.5 inches of rain.
Harrisville?
And it's moving to the northeast,
Yeah.
and we're escaping the bulk of the precip this morning. So,
So we
I
you
don't
need to
know.
work on that.
Yeah. I'm with Jake and you and whatever little things I got going on. I think I could probably get that done.
Well, while you're doing it,
All right, Kelly.
This whole weekend, could you just hold on to the rain?
So he's got that down.
You guys just want too much.
aren't
All I am is a messenger. Fantastic.
I'm trying to
So I've got one more thing, and Jim, this is based on, and of course, what we talked about here a month or two ago. I want to give you guys an update. Jim had recommended actually that we look at different grants to possibly get a community storm shelter put together.
Yeah.
You guys know as well as I do, the federal government had tied up a lot of those funds that we used to be able to get. There is only one left, and that is a hazard mitigation grant. Because everybody is vying for this grant across the state of Missouri, they require a notice of interest to bid on this particular grant. They're going to take anywhere between 5 to 8 and accept the notice of intent, and then we go ahead and apply for a 75-25 grant. So it was very extensive. I've been working on it over the last month and a half. I gathered a bunch of quotes from, they prefer companies here in the state of Missouri to do the work, which I'm a firm believer in that. There was 4 that actually do these type of outdoor tornado shelters. They're all right around the same price point. So we had to come up with that. We also had to put an addendum into our mitigation plan that K-Singer did for us to maybe make it sound a little bit more feasible because of our where we are at geographically, being in the middle of Tornado Alley. All of that research was done between me and Dylan at K-Singer. We come up fantastic. I mean, Dylan is just a godsend to our department.
Yep.
He does a great job. So we filled out all the paperwork, got it all sent in. It was about 15 pages worth of documentation. They accepted it, and we are in the 5 or 8 that they are picked out through the state of Missouri to possibly get that grant. So we have not applied for the grant yet. We're just taking this in baby steps. I wanted to make sure that we got approved for the notice of intent before I come to you guys with this. Basically, in a nutshell, Henry County has a 17.8% chance of having a tornado EF1 or larger happen. We've already seen that here in 2025 with $300,000 worth of damage here just to our little sliver of the county. What we are proposing, as soon as we get the final word from our NOI, what we are proposing is to put a community storm shelter that's going to be housing 150 people certified. It's going to be a FEMA approved storm shelter. This company will be coming up and setting the concrete pad that has to be, and here's the situation. Even though they're the same price, there's only one company that will come up and set the concrete, anchor everything in. They're a one-stop shop for the same amount of money. So the thing about it is, if we contract that cement work out, then we have to have representatives from FEMA to come down and approve it. And if it's not right, we're out that money. So might as well let the professionals do their job. We're looking at about $125,000 total. That is delivery, setup, installation, ready to go. They take care of 75% of this grant, and the county makes up the 25%. I've already had 2 organizations, just I guess maybe through hearsay, when we've been talking about this, approach us that want to help the county with the funding, whatever is left over. So that's fantastic. So I don't know to what extent, once we decide that we want to go ahead and apply for this grant, once we get the official notice of the NOI, then, maybe we can get together, maybe have them come up here on a Tuesday or Thursday. We can discuss, and they can actually tell us what they would be willing to do for us. But even at that, we're looking, and if you don't apply for the amount of money, and it comes in, say you bid $100,000, it comes in 110. There's nothing they can do. We bid at $125,000 for the NOA or NOI, and we're thinking it's probably going to come in probably right around 107, 108,000. But we allowed a little bit extra in there just to make sure it's going to be covered. So with that in mind, we're looking at anywhere between 27.5 to 32.5 will be what the responsibility of the county would be. And if we were able to get a couple helps from the outside organizations, maybe we'll slap a sticker or a logo or something of that company on that. What was unique about this that I didn't know was the fact, of course, one of that documentation we have to send in is a firm, which is basically a floodplain map, just to make sure you're not putting something up. And the courthouse sits on a floodplain.
Yeah.
So it's on this side, this corner of the square, including this, that would be the southeast corner of the courthouse lawn, all the way through the depot down Main Street is all considered floodplain. So, when we get a little bit closer, we decide this might be something we want to maybe go forward with. We'll want to sit there and talk with some professionals probably on where the best place this could be. And again, I think this would be a great addition to the community for the square. I mentioned to a few people before, what happens on a Wednesday at 9:30 in the morning? Tornado sirens go off, or say we have strong 85-mile-an-hour winds coming toward downtown Clinton. Where are the business owners and the customers going to go if it's during the week? This gives them a viable option to be able to be covered. Car shows on Saturday nights. Obviously, something as big as Old Glory Days. Just one shelter is not going to be feasible. Put everybody down at Old Glory Day, but I think this is a good first step. If I had anything to say with it, we should have something like that at every trailer park in the county. Trailer parks are most susceptible. That should be actually part of requirement made. Was if you own a trailer park, then there needs to be a storm shelter. 17.8% chance of Henry County getting a tornado. That don't sound like a lot. That's a huge number. That's a huge number. So hopefully, if I get that final approval on the NOI in hand on email form, right now they just told me I want to see the form. Like to approach you guys and give you guys a little time to think about it, talk about it, and then if you guys think this is something we need to go ahead and bid on, then I will go ahead and take the steps to go ahead and get that submitted in. Yes.
Have you had any thoughts about where to put it? That's going to be
So,
the first thing I think you better think.
That right there is going to be something, again, we would need to get somebody who's better equipped on where would be the best location for it.
If you go.
With Old Glory Days, and you don't want that thing stuck right smack dab in the middle of courthouse lawn. But I think it needs to be fairly accessible to the Clinton Square, at least in this first go around. I would think for the business owners and the customers alike.
Will they help out on the cost of that? Because that'll cost some money.
What will?
The lot to be able to do it, to put it on. How big a building is it?
It's let's see here. Actually, I've got that right here. That is actually going to be 640 square foot.
That's not real big.
Huh?
That's not real big.
Not to be real big, but I'm just thinking about where a lot could be. There's some places to put it,
Mm-hmm.
but the cost. That's
Yeah.
where they're going to
You
get.
put parking lot down there with the sheriff's department used to be.
Yeah, I mean,
That's that's like wide open.
It's very,
I mean,
it could be, I mean, easily be done there. And like I said, we, for the purpose of the NOI, this is just strictly best guess estimates. That's all. They just want to know what your plan is. You had to write up a very detailed, it's about 4-page essay. I felt like I was in college again. But, 4-page essay here on why we need it at the exact square footage. We had to have all the documentation. They just want to make sure you're serious about it. And before you get 50 applicants and they have to go through it all, and here you're probably not going to utilize the money. So they just want to make sure you're serious about it. So they are, definitely open for changes if we should happen to, when we send the actual grant in. At that point in time, we really need to know where we're going to be.
What's
We need
gonna
to
cost.
include that in the grant.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So, yep,
You want to include all that.
yep.
Who owns
107.
the vacant lot over here?
Well, we have talked about that because actually we're going with a much economical route than maybe Subby wanted. But I've got to ease in to you guys a little bit,
Pass that
and I
by-
don't want to put a $500,000 project out there in front of
You
you
put
guys.
the Main Street program on it. Yeah, that's what you're gonna have to deal with them when you
Right.
do that.
Right.
said
And
that's
that
all
was one thing about that vacant lot.
Yeah,
We
that's-
thought about that,
yeah,
but
it's just
then we'll be dealing with the city, we'll be dealing with the owners. It'd probably be best if we do something that might be on county property.
that
So
way we don't have to worry about it.
yeah.
That's number one thing.
So, and basically that's
Okay.
about it, guys.
All
I
right.
just want to kind of get you guys thinking on that. And as soon as I get that paper in hand, that email, which could come in, as soon as today, then I will let you guys know, and we can set up and maybe go forward with actually putting in a grant. Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie.
Then,
Don't reach into my budget. I don't have one.
oh, hey, I got them all warmed up for you.
Craig Rivers Engineering's taking on my budget.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes. Yes.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you much.
Well, thank you guys for letting me come in and speak just for a few minutes today. This is my name is Brent Kane with Craig River Engineering, and just wanted to give a quick update on the VRO RO 4230 out there off of Northwest 400 going over White Oak Creek. They poured the bridge deck be 2 weeks ago on this Thursday. Last week I had a good 7-day break, about 84% of required strength for the project. They did begin to strip the forms from the diaphragms and on the fill face of the abutments. So they're working on the vertical drains late last week. Today I talked with the contractor this morning. He is planning on guardrail next week is what he's the week of the 9th.
Mhm.
And then they're also going to try to finish up their vertical drains. And they did on bent 1. That one's done. They're working on bent 2 hopefully this week and on weather. And they have had several rain days and some flood days and some thefts and stuff. But he's pretty confident on that 21st month having it finished up and opened up to traffic. So we're, they're moving along with that. I don't see any issues with that as long as weather kind of holds out. My guess is probably be backfilling and guardrail next week and rock blanket, and that's then they'll have to do a little bit of cleanup, site work, and then seed and straw. But other than that, they look like they're going to be able to hit their deadline on that.
Good. Well, doing good.
Yeah. So that's basically all I got for that particular project. Is there anything else that you all need with that one, or I can try to get you answers on something else if you got anything else?
I think they started doing a little bit of backfilling yesterday when I was up there on the west side and stuff with some rock and stuff, where they're putting some drains and stuff in. But
Yeah.
every day I go up there, it's the same 2 to 4 guys
Yeah.
get up there. Except today they had the concrete poured, and there's about a dozen of them running around there.
Mhm.
So I mean, they're up there working on it when it's not pouring down rain or if it ain't flooded.
Brent, who's pouring who's doing the concrete, all that, or who is it? Y'all getting it from?
The company,
Yeah.
it's at FCS out of Clinton here.
Oh, okay.
Fisher.
Right.
Fisher,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. I had him call Donnie call me and wondered about the next bridge and was wondering about getting on the list if he needed to reach out to the contractor.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I got to be a little careful on some of that.
And that Fisher,
They,
I'm really impressed with them. They've
Yeah.
been doing their QC work at the plant, and then they've got a guy come out and
check 'em.
checking over my shoulder, checking out all the air tests and everything. So, but
That's good.
like I said, the average I took 3 different tests on the day they poured, and the average of those 3 sets of cylinders on a 7-day break was that right around 3375 psi, so 84% essentially. So, and then on the 28th day they'll break 3 each of those sets, and that we've got a good average overall. But the required strength is 4,000 in 28 days.
Yeah.
So they're moving along pretty good, and
Yeah.
I think they've been doing a pretty good job for what they've had to, with the weather and whatnot they've had to deal with. So I know they were even working the other day underneath the bridge, removing the diaphragms whenever it was raining. They said just to stay busy, trying to keep it getting done and keeping it on time. So
That's good.
Okay. Thank you.
Even if it comes down, push come to shove, and if we had to extend it out a week for them to finish up, I think they've worked at it, so it'd be something that you guys could easily do without penalizing them or anything, because they've been working at it.
when I talked to, like I said, the contractor this morning, Matt, the foreman on the job, and I kind of let him know too. We're getting close to that. There's 21 more days, plus or minus. That was from Saturday, but so about 18 days or so. And if he thought that they might need an extra couple days next week, looking at what the weather's going to do, just to put in a request for it, I said I can't see any reason why not to grant an extra 4 or 5 days if they needed it. But he's pretty confident that with everything going on the rest of this week, and then the way the weather right now looks next week, he feels pretty confident they can come in there, place that rock blanket, finish placing that, and get their backfill in, and then guardrail's kind of its own thing anyways. But they've been definitely doing a pretty good job for the weather they've had. So
Okay.
but all right. Well, thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, they do right along with that.
They've done real well, especially with the rain and everything too.
Especially since they had a flood up there for 2 days and then spent a third day having to clean up all the mud off the concrete that they had poured and everything.
If you lost your pen, I found it.
It ain't mine, but I'll take it.
It was in that red folder.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Then I lost it.
It was crammed down in the pocket. You been working on road inventory, Dennis?
Do what, man?
Have you been working on the road inventory? Whoops.
I told you that was.
I worked 2 days on it, and I haven't even got the northeast done yet. And there's a lot of discrepancies and stuff, so it's going to be an interesting time of getting it. It's not going to be an overnight deal of getting it done. It's going to be a process, because after we get it all done, then if there's a bunch of discrepancies, they might want to say, hey, we're going to come up and ride with you for 2 weeks and get this done ourselves. So it's a process that's underway, Kelly.
As in, we as in ODOT right around with you?
Yeah, because I mean, if there's a bunch of discrepancies, they're going to. I mean, if our road jumps from 730 where it is roughly right now to 780 because of the discrepancies, they might want to say, "Hey, we need to figure out what's going on here."
If you have some
we're
both
not jiving.
Yeah.
Or maybe we get lucky and they just take our word. I don't know. But I forgot to bring them sheets, but I was gonna. I mean, we still have at least one good hard day in the Northeast to run the roads, and it's an undertaking.
Well, something needs to be done.
Yeah.
So we have found some discrepancies, and some of them's like half mile here, half mile there. So it makes a difference,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to your guys' fuel tax dollars.
Mhm.
I sent an email off here a while back to the MoDOT people again, wanting to know about these noise ordinance
Noise.
signs and stuff. And they're basically, and I gave you a copy yesterday,
Yeah.
Kelly. They're basically saying no. The county can't pass an ordinance because when you pass an ordinance, you're passing it for the whole county. And when they look at these, they want to be specific for one location in a incorporated town or village. So Piper, Old Piper, New Piper, whatever you want to call it out there, KN18 is not an incorporated village or town. So it's going to be, you're not going to be able to get something ordinance wise passed to cover that area, because if you pass something countywide, like they're saying in this letter, if a deputy decides that CN7 that the guy's using his Jake brake and it's not specific to that area, so they're saying no, we can't do it. They did go out and put and you've seen them on some of these other signs and stuff, delineators, which is a high vis. They put it down the post all the way from ground to the sign. They went out there and put them on the intersection, upcoming, stop ahead signs, and a stop sign. So people know that the intersection is coming and stuff like that, to bring more attention to it, so people's not having to. And more than less, these truckers that use the Jake brake or exhaust brake, they're doing it just for the damn sound.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's nothing, in my opinion, that helps them. But anyway, I thought I'd give you guys a copy of what the county has, or the state has basically said.
Mhm.
So, with that being in mind, last Friday, we put in a culvert. I went. We had a road out here in Davis, which would be 801 Northwest 801, just off 18. I went to MoDOT and told them, I said, "Hey, you guys need to replace that culvert. That culvert's bad." MoDOT says if we replace it, it's going to be next year. There's no way we put our pipe order in once a year, and we won't be able to get to it till next year. And I said, well, the road's going to be washed out because it was out to the road 3 or 4 feet already. I said, you guys need to do something. And they said, well, our hands are tied. So,
Are you talking out here?
out here. So
Probably.
I told them, I said, okay, you guys buy the pipe off us or come up with the pipe. We'll get it put in. Davis Township to pay for the rock. So last week they got a hold of me and said, okay, we was able to find some pipe in Coal Camp and Osceola and other places, and was able to come up with the pipe. So last Friday we went out there, put the pipe in, and Davis paid for the rock. And since it's in Davis Township, it's like any other pipe. We just done it for free. I'm sure sometime this morning somebody will be in and questioning again why we was working on private property or doing something next to a state road or something. But it was a deal that we felt that we needed to get done because they couldn't wait a year and we was going to end up closing the road, which would have made a detour for them. So otherwise, we've got pretty well. I think we finished up our last pipe yesterday that we got on order or people wanted to put in. We still got some pipe to put in as soon as White Oak and Fairview get a hold of me and meet with me and set it up where they want these pipes put in. We got more pipes to put in. Beams are coming in for Southeast 450, which would be in Leesville Township. So as soon as those come in, we're going to jump on that bridge, get it done and knocked out of the way. And then in July, the beams are supposed to come in for the Division Road. And as soon as they come in, we should be able to jump in and get that one taken care of. We do have two oversized pipes going in the ground out on 1601 in Walker Township. We're going to take out a bridge and put in two oversized pipes to carry the water load, but with it raining every other day or so, I don't want to start a project that I can't get done in 3 days with rain every other day because I don't want to have to go find them down the creek somewhere. So that pretty well brings me up to speed. Mark, you got anything? Any questions? Concerns? Jake, you got anything?
I got one question. You say you got the northeast corner. Have you done the southeast corner yet?
Do what?
Have you got the information for the southeast corner for the road inventory yet? Okay. You said northeast. I didn't know if that meant you had the southeast.
No, I just started on the northeast, and that's where we spent 2 long days out there because you got to measure every road
Right.
from point to point, and then half of these roads don't even have descriptions like the start at Y Highway, go east 2.5 miles to
Right.
northeast 901 road. So we're having to write all that stuff in there so it can be more accurate to where we know we're at.
Okay.
So I think it was last week I told you I was going to have to update the road inventory, and I started on it last week, but that's where we're at.
Sounds good.
Jim, you got anything?
No.
Questions or concerns? Kelly, any questions, concerns, or comments?
That pipe was 801 and 18 Highway.
Northeast, northwest 801 and 18 Highway in Davis Township. I mean, I threw the offer out there 2 months ago, and they finally called me Thursday after you guys had met and said, we found enough pipe.
Yeah.
When can you guys get it in? And I said, well, bring the pipe out here and I'll get it in as soon as I can. Well, when we put the dig right in, everything came back clear with no conflict. So we went out the next day and got it put in the ground. So,
Good.
but I'm sure somebody out in that area be in today sometime because he drove by 4 or 5 times.
There you go.
I think he
You
just
ready to go,
likes you,
Jake?
Jake.
Huh?
I think he just likes you.
Yeah, it's a likable guy.
So, anything else for me, guys? Okay, I'm gonna sit over here in the corner and be good for a few minutes in case he comes in.
Okay,
You won't for long. We're gonna go into closed session here pretty
yeah,
quick.
11, we gotta go into closed session.
Don't open back up until you're ready to leave.
That direction on 16, is that, what's the direction on that? Southwest, southeast?
It'd be Southwest 1601
Thank you. In Walker Township.
in Walker Township, in between 100 or 200 and 300.
Thank you, sir. Do you have Ivan's cell phone number, Jim?
Yep, I sure do.
Okay, when we call him, we need to call him on his cell phone number because he is working out of
Yeah.
a hotel room because of, they got
Oh,
destroyed
that's
by the
right.
tornado, so.
Yeah.
He asked me to please make sure you call his cell phone.
Yeah.
When we go into closed
I
session.
got it here. 314, let's see,
Say it out.
the smoke.
I've got it down in the office.
Okay. I've got another one. I think that maybe, what's his secretary?
Maggie.
Maggie, I think I got her. She,
I changed my mind. He can have his heyday with me.
golly. Well,
I can't sit around. I'm sorry, Bruce. I just can't.
bye, Dennis.
See you guys.
Glad seeing you. Well, he's back.
Let me see your number.
Change your mind again?
It just dawned on me. I forgot to tell Mark something.
Mm-mm.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
that's the right one. Mark. He said, mm-mm.
He was there. I told everybody. I'm take the bus back. She's not happy about it. She wants to
How much is,
tell us the truth.
it's your brush?
90% of that came off that. Where we
You
had
know,
to
we had to take it through. I mean, there's a little brush on the sides, but that's all. That's not a good
Yeah.
A little more excitement up there.
We're early, but I think we could call when, I think we can call Ivan early.
Can we?
If we have an issue with it.
Yeah, she will.
Glad seeing you today. You know, I've been real proud. You only closed your eyes once. I caught you. I only caught you once. Kind of snoozing a little bit. It's pretty good. You'll have to watch it.
I was looking at my phone this time.
Oh, you was?
It'd be helpful if there was a little more action.
I'm Steve Blair.
So I'm just letting you know that way when I refer back to her and let her know that she can contact you because that's the plans from the word go, that you know what's going on.
Appreciate it.
Okay, I'm out of here once again. This time I'm gone for good, Bruce.
Okay, is Bruce on the agenda to speak? Thank you. All right. That being said,
45 minutes.
well, that's all right.
I feel like Rodney Dangerfield back here. I don't get no respect.
I entertain a motion to go to closed session.
I'll make a motion to go to closed session.
Motion been made, second, go in closed session. Voice roll call, Mark.
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Jim, yes. Motion There's a second.
I'll second that.
Motion been made, second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries. We're adjourned. You can take that down now.
Oh, I'm planning on it. That's why I